The biggest winter storm in years is on our doorstep.
If you don't have to go out, please try to stay home.
Severe Weather Team 11 has been tracking its development all week.
I've got the latest timing and snowfall totals for your neighborhood.
Leaders say they're ready.
We need everyone to pay attention and to be prepared.
Our team is spread across the region as road crews and Pittsburghers.
I'm ready. Just makes you a little nervous.
Brace for winter's fury.
Winter storm coverage from Pittsburgh's most trusted news team continues right now at 6.
Channel 11 News starts with severe Weather Team 11 coverage.
It is the deep freeze before the storm. Temperatures have really nosedived to kick off the weekend, and it's the first act of the biggest winter storm to hit our region in years.
Leaders from City Hall to the state capitol tell us they are ready. And we have live Team 11 coverage stretching from the city to Butler, Beaver, and Washington counties. We start with Pittsburgh's chief meteorologist, Stephen Cropper, who's been watching this develop now for days. Stephen.
Yeah, new coming in just the last hour, Gordon. Some periods of heavy snow still expected to fall during the day on Sunday. Rates could be up to an inch per hour, which will make it even more difficult to stay ahead of the curve. Talking about snowfall, this graphic really gives you an idea of how much to expect during the day. And you can see as early as 9 o'clock, we've got a couple of inches on the ground. And then some of those heavier bands will continue to layer on, putting us in the 7-inch range before sunset, with numbers continuing to climb upwards of 8 to 14 inches. Most areas will wake up with by Monday morning with a solid footprint of snowfall. I'll show you when it arrives in your neighborhood and when some of the heavier snow is expected during the day Sunday coming up.
Call 911 for emergencies. Call 311 for snow removal concerns.
Pittsburgh Mayor Corey O'Connor is asking residents to stay at home if they can and out of harm's way. The city is responsible for clearing more than 1,200 miles of roads and alleyways. And our team coverage continues with Gabriella DeLuca in the city's Beachview neighborhood.
Pittsburgh Mayor Corey O'Connor is telling people to stay home on Sunday if they can. That way it will give plenty of space to the plows for them to be on the streets to treat them here in the city.
We are preparing for the worst case scenario in the city of Pittsburgh.
For the last several days, Pittsburgh Mayor Corey O'Connor says his staff has been figuring out logistics for this weekend snowstorm. But a big factor in ensuring residents and crews are safe is if people stay home.
We know that thousands of you have to get to work over the weekend and on Monday. Please give yourself extra time. Stick to the main roads if you can. If you don't have to go out, please try to stay home.
The Department of Public Works has 8,000 tons of salt and is expecting another delivery today. There will also be nearly 100 Public Works vehicles on the roads, plus trucks from other divisions that have plows or salt spreaders attached. David Williams is a local to Beachview and knows how difficult navigating the hills can be.
The hills, it's always tough. People just know, people that have been living here for years know where to go and where not to go, you know, which way and how to get out of here. Because once you're in here and it snows, you got to know how to get out.
And for Nate Carley, who's from Erie, he echoes Mayor O'Connor's advice.
Don't go out if you don't need to. Don't take risks you don't need to take.
Stay here with Channel 11 over the next few days as we are going to continue to monitor every step of this storm. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Gabriella DeLuca, Channel 11 News.
All right, thanks, Gabriella. And Pittsburgh Regional Transit has called in extra crews to keep our region moving. The agency is calling in snow plows to keep the busways and the parking lots clear of snow. Buses could be delayed, and the agency says it's a good rule of thumb. If cars can't drive there, buses cannot either.
From handling emergency dispatches to plowing hundreds of miles of roadways, Allegheny County says it is ready to keep up with the storm. Channel 11's Lawrence Latta continues our team coverage from Carnegie with the county's action plan.
Allegheny County shared its plan of action for clearing all of the 357 miles of county-maintained roads. Part of that plan is inspecting all of the county's 52 trucks in the fleet and making sure they are all ready to go.
The time for preparation is today.
That was the message Allegheny County emergency officials had for the public on Friday as this weekend's winter storm approaches the region.
RESC is activated as of 7 a.m. this morning. as we do for all major weather events.
That means beefing up 911 staffing for an expected increase in call volume and reminding everyone to be prepared to stay home for at least 72 hours. But as that snow continues to accumulate, it's imperative you limit your time outdoors.
If you are shoveling snow, please take breaks, wear layers.
As for maintaining the roads and county fleet, 52 trucks equipped with plows have been filled with salt and liquid calcium chloride. Crews will be out starting Saturday night, and drivers will be working 12-hour shifts, allotting themselves 1 to 2 hours to complete each route.
The department does not prioritize specific roads. Instead, drivers follow strategically designed routes to maximize speed and efficiency.
Officials told us the health department has been in touch with at least one family at Monview Heights in West Mifflin to address possible heating issues there, something other renters in the county could experience as well.
The health department would like to remind renters that your landlord has an obligation to keep your unit at 68 degrees.
County officials say renters who lose heat and are unable to get help from their landlords should contact the health department. In Carnegie, Lauren Talata, Channel 11 News.
Last week, we told you communities in the South Hills were concerned about a delayed salt delivery. Several communities get a joint deal through the South Hills Council of Governments. And these are the communities we confirmed are dealing with the delay. Today, the executive director told us a barge carrying the salt has arrived.
How fast the rock salt gets unloaded from those barges onto trucks and out to the communities participating in the Joint Purchasing Alliance is going to be weather dependent.
The first barge holds about 1,500 tons worth of rock salt. That should be delivered by Monday, but more than half of it was on its way to communities by noon today.
And we've been talking about the best ways to prepare your family for the winter weather, but people aren't the only ones dealing with the bitter cold. Channel 11's Andrew Havranek continues our weather team coverage, checking in with a Beaver County animal shelter.
The Beaver County Humane Society says they do a lot of planning and prep work when they know a storm is going to have major impacts on the area, like the snow that's coming on Sunday. They have nearly 80 cats and 35 dogs here, and they need to make sure all of these animals are cared for despite the snow. Kaylin Rankin is the shelter manager at the Beaver County Humane Society. Right now, she and her team are gearing up for a busy weekend caring for the animals at the shelter.
So for us, it's a lot of preparation to try to be as proactive as possible.
Some of that planning is for the staff and volunteers. The Humane Society has to have people ready to take care of the animals as if it's a normal day. With several inches of snow expected, that means planning for some sleeping arrangements at the shelter.
So a couple of us have already volunteered to stay either on site in the shelter. We'll kind of bunk down with sleeping bags or lots of blankets and things like that. Or we do have our annex across the street, and it has apartments that we lease out, and so a couple are still available so we can stay there as well.
They have enough food, treats, and essentials to take care of the pets at the shelter, but they've also worked to prepare for a worst-case scenario in case they lose power. They've rented a generator.
We do have medications and things like that on hand that we want to make sure we don't run the risk of them going bad or anything because of the cold or because they're not refrigerated.
As for the pets, they'll work to get them as much indoor activity as possible and take the dogs outside sparingly so they can still get activity but not be exposed to the brutal winter weather. Rankin says pet owners who are preparing to go get things at the grocery store for themselves to also think of any sort of needs your animals may have as well in case you're snowed in.
Always a good idea to make sure that any of the basic essentials that you realize you might run low on and you're not able to leave the home to go get them, you just make sure you've got it in supply.
Reporting in Center Township, Beaver County, Andrew Havranek, Channel 11 News.
And the Westmoreland County Department of Human Services is standing by to help people find a warm place to stay. You can call 211 anytime for free, confidential and current information on emergency shelter locations. And as the conditions change quickly, operators are ready to help people who are affected by severe weather or unsafe conditions.
Restrictions are coming to local highways ahead of the storm. Tier 4 restrictions start midnight on Saturday. That means no semi-trucks or other commercial vehicles, plus buses and cars towing trailers. Speed limits will be reduced to 45 miles per hour.
It truly is critical that you all, the public, avoid travel as much as you can. My preference would be a Sunday stay-home day, watch the NFL games despite the fact that the Eagles and Steelers are not playing.
State officials also urge people to stay home, monitor forecasts, adjust travel plans, and check on elderly neighbors.
And we are getting a look inside one of Duquesne Light's garages as they prepare for the winter storm. Between its tow trucks and command center, Duquesne Light says its fleet of 1,200 vehicles are ready for the weekend.
Right now, the guys are in the garage getting everything ready for this weekend, putting snow chains on tires, making sure that everything's working in fine capacity for this weekend.
Duquesne Light reminds people, charge your devices, have an emergency kit and flashlights or other battery-operated lanterns ready.
Our local hospitals are ready for what comes their way during the weekend storm. UPMC has been preparing all week, even getting some tips from handling emergencies in the snow from their colleagues up in Erie. Channel 11 News anchor Susan Copen has more on the preparations.
Even during a snowstorm, the care must go on, and UPMC has been prepping for a winter blast for days.
And so we're well prepared. We have teams that are organized already for what staffing needs might be. We have our maintenance men on call.
As officials city and county-wide encourage residents to stay home and hunker down during the weekend storm, UPMC is making it easier for patients to avoid unnecessary travel.
We have proactively called many of our patients that were scheduled for Monday for maybe a procedure or a diagnostic test of some type and said, hey, you want to come back later? Do you want to come on Tuesday? So we're doing all we can to make sure that they're getting the care they need at a time where they can still be at home and safe.
And she adds, heed the warnings about dangerous conditions and bitter temperatures.
If you have health conditions and don't need to be out, stay home. Stay home. Today is not the day to become a snow shovel warrior.
Taking it easy might be the best medicine. Susan Copen, Channel 11 News.
And Roman Catholic leaders are encouraging the faithful also to stay safe during the storm. Both the Pittsburgh and Greensburg diocese have granted dispensation from Mass for all Catholics in the diocese. The diocese says services will be limited this weekend, so you really want to check with your church before heading out.